Good afternoon, I'm Sean Yao and this is One News Now. Some vendors in Metro Manila are still on a pork holiday to protest the price ceiling on meat products in the national capital. The government is hoping that the situation will normalize in a week as supplies recover. Shaila Francisco with the report.
Most of retailers can comply with the government-imposed price cap for pork and chicken products. This was the observation of a team led by the Agriculture Department during an inspection earlier today. According to the officials, prices of the products in various markets in Metro Manila fall within the price cap.
Kanina po, medyo nakasunod kami sa ganung presyohan. Kasi mababa po kasi nakuha na namin. Hindi natin ma-sure na ganun ang mangyayari. Kasi meron talaga mataas, meron ding mababa.
But some retailers have decided not to open shops for the second day as they cannot source cheaper meat.
Ngayon wala kaming makuha. Hanggat hindi pa, wala pang katay, wala pa. Pero kung magkakaroon naman ng katay, walang problema.
To assist vendors, the local government of Quezon City is waiving rental fees for those who will close shops. The DA for its part has imposed a suggested retail price or SRP of 235 pesos of pork products among traders and dealers.
Na yung wholesale price ay ESRP na natin. So gusto natin banggitin na yung SRP for wholesale ay 235 pesos para mayroon ng masapat na kita ng trader doon o yung wholesaler. O tapos ibigay na sa retailer, sa vendors, sapat pa rin yung kita niya within the price cap.
But this did not sit well with the Manila Meat Dealers Association, saying some may not be able to comply.
Yan lang yung suggestion nila na kung kaya namin gawin. Ay kung di naman kaya, wala naman din silang magagawa.
Aside from the SRP, the DA is also offering loans with zero interests for the capital of vendors. Agriculture Secretary William Dar has promised to bring in pork from Mindanao and Visayas to quell the supply problem in Metro Manila. But in an interview with One News Agenda, the Pork Producers Federation described this as fake news. The federation said farm gate prices range from 180 pesos to 200 pesos, but the DA insists that it can go as low as 144 pesos.
Kaya sila hindi nagkasundo. Yung sinasabi niya na 10,000 every week na baboy na dadating dito sa Metro Manila, ay drawing yon, fake news. Sapagkat nakakausap natin yung presidente, ilang samahan doon, ay ang gusto nga nila 180. So hindi sila nagkasundo.
Briones is calling on the agency to hold a summit to give stakeholders a platform to air their concerns. The DA explained that logistic issues hounded the first 2 days of the price cap implementation. But the DA said on One News' The Chiefs, they are hoping that the supply of pork will normalize in a week as entry of more hogs is expected.
Dumating kanina umaga at nandyan na sa pier about 5,400 heads of hogs. At alam naman natin na ang Metro Manila, there is about 4,000 of hogs being slaughtered every day. So nakita namin na mayroon tayong mga supply na nandyan, dumarating every now and then, at we can see this stabilizing within the week.
As for imported pork and chicken products, the Trade Department is still finalizing the SRP and price ceiling. Shaila Francisco, we are One News.
Dovetailing on that, an economist says that farm supply issues cannot be addressed by monetary policy. In an interview with One News's Business World Live, RCBC's chief economist Mike Ricafort said the problems are driven by supply-side factors. Ricafort says that these internal challenges like damage to crops from inclement weather and the spread of the African swine fever or ASF cannot be addressed by policy alone.
The first two supply side factors like the storm damage on agriculture and on ASF in reducing the pork supplies, those two factors could be temporary in nature that can be better addressed by non-monetary measures by way of increasing local supply. That's the bottom line.
And newly minted Armed Forces Chief of Staff Cirilito Sobejana says that the new Chinese law allowing its Coast Guard to fire on foreign vessels is very alarming. In today's Laging Handa briefing, Sumehana said the Philippine Navy will heighten its presence in the West Philippine Sea to ensure the protection of Filipinos. However, the AFP chief clarified that this does not mean that the country is ready to wage war against Beijing.
Yung pronouncement ng China na their Coast Guard can open fire to people intruding into their territory, it's very alarming po yan. I should say it's a very responsible statement dahil hindi naman tayo ang ating mga kababayan ay hindi naman pumunta sa lugar na yan, sa disputed area, para makikipaggera, kundi naghahanap buhay.
And the LTO and DOTR once again got an earful from senators, this time around over the implementation of the motor vehicle inspection system. Mayan Los Baños is with us live from Mandaluyong to walk us through the reasons why. Mayan, what exactly is the issue at hand?
Sean, senators and several groups are actually calling for the suspension of the implementation of the Motor Vehicle Inspection System, or MVIS, amid issues and complaints against it. Senators grilled officials of the Land Transportation Office and Transportation Department over the implementation of the MVIS amid the pandemic. The MVIS is a program to ensure the roadworthiness of vehicles prior to registration. Among the complaints was that the LTO did not hold public consultations with LGUs before implementing the program. LGUs and various groups called the 1,800 peso fee per inspection exorbitant, compared to the 450 pesos vehicle owners had to pay before for emission tests. LTO Chief Edgar Galvante said they are studying the possibility of lowering the inspection fee as motorists are still reeling from the pandemic. Senators also asked if the agencies even sought the advice of NEDA before coming up with the inspection price, to which the DOTR answered on the negative. Senator Franklin Dillon, for his part, said there is no law that allows the LTO or the DOTR to delegate the duty to inspect motor vehicles to private companies. This, according to the senator, should be done by the LTO itself. But DOTR Yusek Rainier Yebra explained they are only calling on private companies to assist them in the creation of inspection centers. Senator Ralph Recto, meanwhile, said that creating only 138 inspection centers for 12 million cars is a way for LTO to monopolize the system. Although the DOTR said Transportation Secretary Arthur Togade already decided to create more than 300 inspection centers to accommodate a huge volume of cars. Let's listen to the senators and the DOTR during the hearing.
We have been the victims po of road crashes for the longest time. And we can even po consider it as a silent pandemic. Hence, this is the response po sana of the department through the LTO to restore order po in our roads.
Kung gusto ninyo to prevent crashes and all of that, sana inuna nga ninyo yung mga public vehicles, di ba? Dahil doon talagang wholesale, pag nagkaroon ng aksidente, yung mga bus, ang dami kaagad ang napipinsala. Kaya nga, taliwas ang inyong intensyon dun sa mga ginagawa ninyong aksyon.
Sean, the Senate also discussed the controversial implementation of the car seat law for children below 12 years old, wherein the DOTR actually admitted that they lacked information dissemination before implementing the program. President Duterte himself is opposed to the implementation of the law as he ordered suspension for it for now. Sean?
All right, Mayan, while the child seat or the child car seat law has been deferred, will the MVIS also be deferred?
We have no clear answer yet from the LTO or the DOTR for this time, but before the hearing ended at around 3 this afternoon, Sean, Senator Grace Poe, the chairman of the Senate Committee on Public Services, actually made the call for the LTO and the DOTR to suspend the implementation of the MVIS until such time that all the issues will be resolved. Sean?
All right, thank you for that. Mel Los Baños reporting to us live from Mandaluyong. And the Commission on Population has flagged the alarming rise in teenage pregnancies in the country. Popcom says pregnancies among very young adolescents have increased threefold since the year 2000. To talk to us about that, we have Dr. Amado Parawan, Health and Nutrition Advisor of Save the Children Philippines. Doc Parawan, what was your reaction, or what is your reaction to this report?
Yes, good afternoon. Our reaction for this particular news is that this particular phenomenon on increased teen pregnancy is not only happening in the country but also in other countries as well, especially in less developed and developing countries. But we have to look at it as also what is the current context of the adolescent. So we are really alarmed that in the Philippines, according to POTCOM, that the number of cases is really increasing, especially with the COVID lockdown.
All right, so you have actually observed ballooning or an increase in the figures of teenage pregnancies because of the pandemic, just to confirm?
Yeah, because as you know, this particular problem, we have to consider that the teenagers need access to reproductive health services. No? So they need counseling. They also we need health facilities that are adolescent friendly. Now with the COVID lockdown, these facilities there's like lack of transportation. Even some adolescents, there's this fear to go to health centers. So that compounded the problem as to the access. But for this particular problem, it has multiple, we call it mortal factorial causes. For a problem that has multiple causes or reasons, you need also multiple partners and stakeholders to address the problem. So that is how I think we approach the problem on teen pregnancy.
That's right. So you're talking about, when we say it takes a village to raise a child, it really does take a village, and you say multi-sectoral. So let's take it from one side first. What can the family, the schools, and the community do to help children deal with this or to help curb this problem that we're seeing?
Yeah, definitely. We first look at the individual, the child, especially the teenager, because the teenager has to have knowledge about his or her sexuality, and usually they get that from their parents and also from the school. So that is why we have in Save the Children, we have developed modules for parents so that they will be confident to talk about sexuality to adolescents. We're also working, Save the Children is also working with the DepEd to make sure that there's a comprehensive sexuality education can be taught to schools, but that involves training of teachers on how to approach the topic. So these are some of the things that we're doing, then approaching it at different angles, and also with LGU, because we all know that our health system is devolved to the local government units. So we need also the support of local government units. Plus, of course, the guidance and also the protocols the guidelines from the Department of Health.
That's right. So what about in terms of legislation from, of course, the national government? You've spoken extensively about the role of the LGU, but in terms of legislation, is there anything that the national government can do to help curb this problem?
Yeah, that's why right now there's a pending bill, the bill on preventing teenage pregnancy in the Congress. It looks at first how do we introduce a comprehensive sexual education. This could be through the schools, and also making sure that also parents and teachers are confident to talk about sexuality. Another thing that the bill looks into is providing social protection mechanisms, because we all know that a lot of the teen mothers or couples, they drop out from school. So there's a need also for looking at how they can be supported when they drop out of school. We're also looking at the protection issues, because these teen mothers are still children. We call it children having children, and then at this age, their bodies are still very immature. So we need also to look at the health facilities. So the bill also looks into how to make health facilities adolescent friendly, and also look at child protection issues. If there are uh, cases of abuse, for that matter, then that's part of the bill. We have to protect these children because adolescents below 18 years old, they're still children.
Okay, I think we've lost Dr. Parawan, but that was Dr. Amado Parawan of Save the Children Philippines. Thank you for your time and insights, sir. For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.